Well, hey, welcome back and welcome to Projects for Christ video episode number 8, part 2, Removing My Mask. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and jump right back into it. I was telling my story about anger and how, I was doing very well. I was very successful in the car business. Had a very nice house, nice cars, got a brand new car to drive, making, $60,000, $70,000 a year. Went through a divorce, lost it all. I lost it all. My family, money, jobs, everything. And also was going through that drug, getting off the drugs, the methanol, or getting out of the methanol clinic. Went to Dothan, long story short, started building it back up, turned away from God, and just like that, I lost it again through a bunch of chaos that was going on in my life. And I lost it, just gone just like that. After I lost it again, I didn't turn to God. I kind of just really, it was just a nightmare, and I handled it so wrong. I should have grabbed a hold to God, but I didn't. I kind of pulled away from God, and yeah, it didn't get any better. Got into a relationship once I moved back here to New Brockton. Got into a relationship with someone for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. Not a very good relationship. Started off great. We moved in together. When you live with someone, when you do live with someone and you're not married, that takes the blessing out right there. Plus, I wasn't really following God anyway. Toward the end of the relationship, I was, but she wasn't, into that, and we just drifted apart and just didn't make it. She hurt me real bad, and, in return, I hurt her real bad because of my anger, which I'm going to get into. A lot of people handle hurts and anger differently. Some people just walk away from it. Some people get into a self-destructive mode. Some people get into depression. Me, I'm the type where I'm going to let you know. If you have hurt me, and I don't mean, and the only way I mean by doing this is if someone who is close to me has hurt me. I have thick skin with almost anybody, but when I let someone into my heart and they hurt me, my shortcoming, was, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to sling the mud. I'm going to let the words come out of my mouth that are going to be very hurtful. And my way of thinking, which is not me justifying it, but was, hey, I want you to feel, I want you to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, because this is what's coming out of my heart. This is how I feel right now, which is not good. It's not a good way to handle it, and I didn't. And anyway, after that relationship, got into another one, which this is what I'm talking about earlier. Met this person. When I did, I didn't really have time to heal off the last relationship. It kind of went from that one to this one. But, we got to talking, I met her. She had a very good passion for God. Really, really did. And, just as much passion of God as I did. Now, after this relationship was over, the one prior to her, I started turning to God again, and wanting to go that route. So that's when she comes along. So we get together, we meet. We had a passion for God, but we allowed a lot of sin into our relationship, And one thing that I have learned from this is when you are in a relationship, and even if it can be even a friendship or anything like that, where you're connected and you both have a passion for God and you want to do God's work, but you're allowing sin, well, that's when Satan's going to just, it's just hook, line, and sinker. You're reeling Satan right in, and he's going to use that, and he did. And we were a threat to Satan and to hell because she had a very good passion for God. She had a very good calling in her life, with teachings and scriptures and stuff like that. Just super, super awesome with that. One of the best I've ever seen. She can recite scriptures and, as far as the actual Holy Bible itself, she was a lot better at it than I was. My calling was just, the passion and, like I'm doing with this Projects for Christ, type deal. And together, I knew that together we could become just an awesome, awesome, couple for God. And we were a threat to Satan, and we were a threat to hell, and and he knew that, and Satan knows that, and he came in and just destroyed us, and we hurt each other very bad. We loved each other, but we hurt each other, and because we did hurt each other over time, it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Now through the whole time, I'm still committing to God. She's still committing to God. We would go through a period of hurting each other, then we would kind of, make up and everything would be fine. Then, hey, we would come back together with God, do great, then there goes Satan right in again. And it just, like I said, it kept getting worse and worse and worse, and I hurt her very bad with my actions and with my words, and she hurt me very bad with her actions and her words. We blamed each other. We developed bitterness and hatred. Family members started seeing that. People started seeing that. Um, we did. We hurt each other with the opposite sex. We hurt each other with our words. We just did a lot of hurtful things to each other. I mean, it was kind of one of them love hate relationships. And I hate to say it. I mean, when we were on it and we were doing good and the love was, I mean, we were awesome. I mean, awesome. I mean, I would honestly say that probably the love of my life. I mean, just super, super awesome. I mean, I wanted to be with this girl for the rest of my life because it was just wow. I mean, the glory of God was just around us. But when it got bad, I mean, it was bad. And I'm sure a lot of you can understand that. You've had relationships like that. And, of course, yeah, I mean, even up until recently, I mean, yeah, we still are hurting each other. Not that we're trying, but because there was so much bitterness and so much just tearing each other down, yeah, we both know we need to turn from that. And we both want to, but, it's kind of like, I'm sure you can understand this, where you need to separate to create that distance, like I was saying before, about how you forgive someone that you love. And that's why I was asking that question, not to, I'm not here to blame anything on anybody, I mean, but I was just kind of curious, how do you do that? Well, now we understand we need to create that distance, but before we tried to create that distance, but we loved each other so much, and it's like, okay, we knew what we had to do, but we were drawn together, and it was just a nightmare. And again, I'm sure you can understand that, and, because of that, yeah, I mean, I still, even up to recently, I had to deal with my words, and yeah, I love God with a passion, and, I love, praise Jesus, hallelujah, I love God, and I want to do God's work. But, I still am in the stage here of, I'm still growing, and I always will be, I mean, I am a human being. I am going to make mistakes, I do have emotions, and emotions are sometimes hard to control. A lot of pride was in our relationship, and that is definitely, pride go before the fall. Wow. I mean, that is so true. And, that's what I'm learning. I'm learning so much from that happened, but one thing about it, I do forgive her. I hope she forgives me, and I do still, love her very much. I pray for her. I really believe that she's going to excel with God, just as God is going to do with me. And the only reason I'm saying this again is just, like I did on my last video, is just to, let you know that, hey, I just want to remove my mask and say, hey, I have struggles too. Just because you have struggles, that's okay. You can still live for God. Yes, you want to try, yes, every day you want to get better and you want to grow to where, you do live holy. And with the Holy Spirit, you can live holy, like I said in my episode 7. But you got to train yourself. It takes discipline. You got to understand. I mean, here's one good mask of me. At one time I was, I'd go through women like water. I mean, I was married, but, after that, I would just, and before I was married and after I was married, I mean, yeah, I had no morals whatsoever. I just, whatever, didn't care whatsoever. And, that is a strong temptation with people, and so what I do now is, I'm not saying that I'm cured from it, I'm healing from all that to where, I don't get myself in those situations, but that's how I'm doing it. I'm not putting myself in those situations, to where I am tempted with certain things, and that's what I, have learned. In the past year, I've done very well with stuff like that, and, that's kind of my advice I can give to you. This worked for me. Sometimes when you're dealing with struggles, just as we had to separate because I was still dealing with the little bitterness because I was hurt, even though I wanted to forgive her and love her and do what God said, but it's not always easy as it seems, because you do have emotions. Sometimes you have to just not put yourself in the situation. I know that the longer we don't talk to each other, after a while, that's all going to die. Just like my, marriage and just like my other relationship. I mean, I know ill feelings. Yeah, I mean, it was hurtful and I had bitterness toward them, but, time does heal. And then once that heals, you're able to forgive them and love them the way they should be loved. And, same thing with anything else. If you have temptations and struggles out there, my advice to you is don't put yourself in a situation, because sometimes you may think you're strong enough to handle it, but you're not. And like I said, Satan's always there. He never goes away. He never goes away. He's always there waiting for that one opportunity to strike you. And he knows you better than you know yourself. And he knows your temptations. He knows your weakness. And he will strategically set it up. And if you don't constantly cling on to the Holy Spirit and cling on to God, I mean, He's going to get you. So that's me removing my mask. I want to thank you so much for joining me on that. Again, it took a lot for me to put that out there, but I do love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I hope there was something you got out of this, and I'll see you on the next episode.